Hey guys, so I wanted to touch base and show y'all some more traits to my trick and talk about depression while I'm at it. I am feeling a lot better. I'm still, limited. I am trying to get disability, and so I don't last for very long. But one of the things that I do to help me pick stuff up off the floor is I use a grabber. And today I'm going to be working on cleaning my floors. And so before I do that, I actually work on making sure that the floors are picked up so that my little robot can do its job without getting stuck. But I wanted to talk about depression because it's very real. If you haven't watched some of my other videos, I have stated that I actually was in a serious state of depression for quite some time. And what caused that is essentially my health. And of course, there's reasons for a lot of people to suffer depression. In a lot of cases, you have, the way the world is these days, divorce is quite, divorce with children is actually quite very common. And you've got one parent that gets most of the time while another parent doesn't get very much. And there can be all kinds of reasons for depression. Not being able to pay the bills or get caught up. Having a missing parent. And these are all things that I've actually experienced in my life, which is why I bring them up. And in my particular case, my depression was primarily because I had essentially finished my MBA, and I had to sacrifice a lot of time with my only child. Well, I didn't finish picking the floor up. I had to sacrifice a lot of time with my only child in order to successfully go through school. Because I had an absent parent growing up. And so we didn't know that person's health or the health, how did that get locked? Or the health of that person's family, the genetic disorders and stuff like that you can expect, which is very real because a lot of problems that people face, are genetic. Heart disease, lung disease, you name it. Well, one of the sides of the genes that we were unaware of is back issues. And it took a doctor telling me that because I had so much go wrong in such little time, he declared it to be a genetic problem. And shortly after that happened, like within 6 months, I think it was, my sibling started having similar issues. Okay, maybe he's right. Because there for a while we were thinking, because it took me quite some time to get surgery that I needed. I'm fixing to have to take a break. But it took me quite some time to get surgery. So let me go through that real quick. I'll give you a quick rundown, or try to do a quick rundown of, what my life was. So I was a single mom for the most part, and I decided that when we got to here and now, I wanted to be able to help my child get stable in life. Put her through school, be able to support her through school, you name it. So I decided when she was in elementary that I wanted to go to school. And in the process, I had a really good career at that time. And so I decided I wanted to bump up my career possibilities and go to school. Well, that obviously took a lot of time from her for me to be able to devote to work and getting my homework done. But one of the program that I actually enrolled myself in was essentially taking one class at a time. Yeah, I'm moving my robot, if you can see it. I love this thing. I don't know how it works on carpet, But for anyone that does suffer chronic pain, I would highly advise to get it, because essentially what I'm doing is directing it to the room that I want it to work on for now, and then I'm going to set it, go rest, because I can't handle doing a lot of housework, which is why I did have to give up working. So back on to a little bit about my life. I wanted to focus on, why did that stop? Okay. I wanted to focus on giving my child the life that she deserved and be able to help her when she got to this point of her life. Well, we get to this point, and I also finally found a career where I didn't struggle socially, which I have all my life. I was bullied in school, which, did not, it didn't help my depression. And the absent parent also, started me having problems with self-esteem growing up. Let me turn on the light, see if that'll make it look better. It is early in the morning. Well, not early, but let me get this light where it's a lot better. So I wanted to, be the parent that, wasn't there except for, the one that stayed. I wanted to make sure that I gave, my child the stuff that I didn't feel that I had outside of the parent that was in attendance in our life. Did an amazing job. I'm so proud of that woman. But anyways, I chose that I wanted to give my child the life that I felt like she deserved and that I wanted to chase for her. So I had to sacrifice a lot of time with her growing up, had a good career, and then, nothing's guaranteed. So that fell through after 7 years, and I was still in school. And then I went through a temp agency to get the position that I had before I had to finally stop working because of my back. Well, I was in the last day of my MBA, literally in my last class, and I remember even taking my capstone final and ended up passing out in the middle of it because my back pain was that bad. I did try to go back to work 3 times and failed because I just couldn't last. And the management and I got along quite well, and I got along quite well with a lot of the employees up there. There's actually not one person I can name that didn't like me and that I didn't like. So socially, I finally fit in, which I never did. So because I had to quit and I had finally made it and I was making really good money and they were waiting for me to be able to get back full time in order to promote me. So I also had a promotion waiting because of my education and because I was well liked within the company. Well, that didn't happen. So that's what contributed to my depression. And I was even raised, for the most part, hey, yeah, life happens, blank happens, pick yourself up, put on your big girl panties and move on. That's not always the case with everybody, and I see that now, and so does my family. I need to go find out what just dropped. Well, anyways, so that's why I wanted to talk about depression, because there was a day, actually this year, where I was ready to pull the trigger. And this is what I actually hear so many people talking about. Here, I'm going to move this. Where, they get told, hey, if you need my help or if you need someone to talk to, call me. But then when that day rolls around, no one is available. Everybody's busy, or they take it as drama. That's not fair. Yes, everybody has their own life, but that still makes things for the person who's struggling a bigger problem. Well, that's one of the reasons for this YouTube video or for this YouTube channel, is because, yes, I truly want to be a chronic pain depression advocate. And that is one of the biggest complaints that I hear the majority of, is people say that they want to be there for somebody, but then when they get there, they're not there. And the day that I actually came to where where I was in such a deep state of depression that I literally called my husband and said, "Hey, I'm not okay. I'm reaching out for help." And I did. But I had a roommate at that time. I mentioned this to that roommate. And I said, "Hey, I'm not okay. I'm literally bawling my eyes out," even with the neighbor who was here, at the house. And my neighbor didn't, because, she knows me a lot better than my roommate did. Me and the roommate did not know each other very well. This person was on my husband's side. And I was told, stop with the drama. Okay. But you did say if I ever need to talk, that you were there. And that's what a lot of people struggle with. A lot of people who are facing depression, when somebody is in a deep state of depression, no matter what it is, it could even be, they have, it's a real problem. It is a real condition. And that's what shuts a lot of people down. And it's what makes a lot of people who do suffer depression go through with an attempt of suicide or debating it, or they succeed. And a lot of it is because they just need someone to talk to. They need someone to understand their problems, and they also need help getting out of the situation that they're in. Can that always be a possibility? No. But a lot of the problem, like if I didn't have my mom as a advocate for me, if I didn't have the support from my husband or his family, I wouldn't be here today. And and if somebody does tell you, if you suffer depression and someone tells you to reach out for counseling, don't be afraid to do that, because my counselor essentially is what took part in saving my life that day. Okay. Because I was on a medication that actually does increase the chances of depression. It messes with your mind. And it was to try to help me with my back pain. Well, since then, I won't take it, even though I do feel more mentally stable. I won't take it because I was too close to death that day. Like, I was ready to pull the trigger. And I was reaching out to anybody and everybody. And it was my counselor that reminded me, okay, he was like, "What medications are you on?" So I mentioned it. And one of the medications does affect people mentally. So I was reminded, okay, give yourself 24 hours. And if you still feel like this, because I emailed him, I was like, "I'm not okay. I'm ready to pull the trigger. I need help and I need it now." Well, he ended up pushing his next appointment onto his supervisor. Took me immediately, like within 5 minutes, we were on a video call, and said, "Okay, if you get to a point where you're looking for a gun or for a knife or anything possible, get your butt to the ER." And I promised him that I would, because I knew that something wasn't right. That's not who I am. So, but if it wasn't for that, I may not be here. My mom wasn't aware until after the fact. Like, we knew that I was borderline not going to be here the next day from either the pain or from some other stuff. And it's a miracle that I am here today. So, but the biggest problem a lot of people do have is essentially the exact response that I got. We don't want the drama. And that's why a lot of people who do suffer depression become suicidal, don't reach out for help, because nobody wants to be there for them. They only want somebody there when they need the help, but not when someone else needs to help or needs the help. So I will encourage anybody who is suffering from depression, look at it, try to look at your perspective. And one of the things that I will say helped save my life is my faith. If you've watched my other videos, I am a Christian. Am I always perfect? Absolutely not, but none of us are. Have I made mistakes? Absolutely, but we all do. Are some of the things I've done questionable? Yes, but we're all human, okay? However, my faith is essentially what snapped me out overnight out of depression. And essentially, I was reminded that since I can't work, one of the things I've wanted to do since becoming a chronic pain patient is to advocate for others, advocate for other people who do struggle every day and who do struggle mentally, even if they do work. And it is a real problem. So if you do know anybody in your life who does suffer from depression, or they're talking like they don't want to be here anymore, don't take it lightly. Take it seriously. Okay? Do you have to be the one to respond? No, but there's always a number that's called 911. Okay? So for example, if you have somebody who tells you, I'm going to kill myself if you don't, okay, that's a different story, but it does need to be taken seriously. But you can always call 911 to make sure you do everything possible that that person doesn't pull the threat that they're pulling or the promise that they're pulling. Because I will tell you, as far as chronic pain patients, all they want is a breath from the pain. That's all they want. They want to stop being treated like they are druggies. They want to stop being treated like the only reason they're going to the doctor appointment is because they want the pain pills. Like, seriously. I was healthy before this started, and even I've been treated that way. And one of the other problems that a lot of, chronic pain patients do suffer from is they go to the doctor and the doctor does not listen. Like I was telling the doctor, I'm getting immune to this stuff. And they do teach you and they do preach that that is possible. But yet one of my doctors didn't want to treat that. Just kept throwing medication my way. And I kept telling them it's no longer working. I need something different. But yet that never happened. And eventually, I got in trouble. But, I was not in the right state of mind because I was in so much pain and because I just wanted that escape. A lot of people can't get that. I can get the escape sometimes by resting or laying down. Like I'm limited from the minute that I get up. I've been up for about 3 hours and I'm fixing to have to go lay back down. And that's what a lot of people with depression or with chronic pain and depression suffer from. Because one, a lot of people don't have the help that I do. I have a lot of support in my situation. But a lot of people don't have that. Or they'll get told, you're not really feeling it. Or you're exaggerating. I've even been told that I use my chronic pain to get out of doing the things that I don't want to do. No, that's not the case. Now, one of the things that has happened, like where am I going with this? One of the things that we all have to do every month or a few times a month, grocery shopping. I hate shopping. I really do. My husband's the shopper in the family. And unless I'll have an agenda of what I'm after. Once I find it, I'm done. Okay? Like, if I am looking for clothes, yes, I will look for the deal. But grocery shopping, I don't like doing. And I will only do, like, if, say, I go to Walmart. If it can't fit in the seat where a child can sit, I won't get it. And there's only one thing that I will get that can't fit, and that's usually a 24-pack of pop. I don't lift it. I have to ask for help. It's embarrassing. But the store that I go to knows me so well that when they see me come in, are you needing pop today, ma'am? Yes, please. And they'll load it. And then they'll help me load it in the car, and it sits there until I can't. But the reason I hate shopping is because that basket, if it gets big enough, I can't handle it. Okay? But a lot of problems that chronic pain patients do have is that, one, they don't have the help that they need. Not everybody can drive to get where they need to go, and sometimes I can't even drive. Thankfully, I still have that ability, but I haven't had any problems with me driving because I know when to stop. If I don't, I do have a medical alert dog. If you see my other videos, you'll get to meet him there, and hopefully here soon I'll get to start posting more videos with him. But sometimes he has to alert me that, hey, you need to stop, and he does that by sniffing my legs. But not everybody has that. Okay, and you can't just look at me and know that I'm not okay and know that I'm not in pain or that I am in pain. You can't. So if you have a family member who is suffering from chronic pain, listen to them. Stop, yeah, if they're constantly whining about it and the world's falling apart, that does get old, but I've been known to do that too. I'm just as guilty. However, that's where I will encourage chronic pain patients that, don't complain about it. Trying to come to terms with it is one thing. Complaining about it's completely different. And, don't compare pain levels to other people. Okay, everybody's pain is different, and pain is pain, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you chop it. If the doctor is giving them something to take for their pain, leave them alone, okay? Leave them alone. And if you don't believe them, go with them to their doctor's appointments if they let you. But either way, stop shaming them for what pain they're in. Please, stop. That doesn't help depression. Another thing that does apply to depression or does make depression even worse when it comes to a chronic pain patient is the fact that so many of us lose our friends and family because we can't participate the way they want us to. Me and my husband have lost friends and family over this. He is a chronic pain patient too, and he still works. And for anybody who does suffer chronic pain and you're still working, I don't care if it's part-time, good job. Good freaking job. You're giving it all you got. And that's important. But a lot of friends and family don't understand that. And like one of the things that we have to remind our friends and family is, hey, if you want our participation, it needs to be as early in the day as possible because that's when we are at our best. Like it's even been in my case, it has even been diagnosed that yes, the gravitation pull on my body does affect me, as it does a lot of people, especially if it's a back issue, because we all know that if you don't know this, look it up. We actually wake up about a ½ inch taller than when we go to bed because as we sleep, our body elongates because through the day, the gravitational pull against our spine actually compresses us. Okay, so that does contribute to it. So the later in the day it is, the harder it is for most. Now, I am lucky. I can wake up in the morning and I can usually start off okay. Not everybody has this. It's as the gravitational pull for me affects my body that makes it worse, which is why I don't last. But everybody's different, okay? So if you know somebody who is suffering from chronic pain and they're talking about depression, maybe you are tired of hearing it, but at least maybe guide them. Okay, have you tried talking to a counselor? If they're a believer in Christ, have you tried reaching out to your preacher? Whatever their faith may be, have you tried reaching out to somebody that you know and trust that can help you get through this? Don't take it lightly, because that is one of the biggest reasons why people shut down that do suffer from depression. It may not be a chronic pain issue, okay? And they may constantly be messing up and make it their own. Their problems are their own doing, and that may be the case, but instead of shunning them, maybe pray for them. Or next time they vent to you about something, but it's something that they created. Like there was one person I know who hates their home life, but yet they're the head of their household, but yet the only people that are living with them are people that are allowed to use this person and live off of them, when it's not a good situation at all. But this person did not have the boundaries enough to say, enough, if you're going to live here. Essentially they were having to buy the support that they have at home. And a lot of people do suffer from that, and they do have that problem in their life. So if they reach out to you, suggest to them, have you reached out to somebody to help you get out of this situation? Well, are you telling this person enough is enough? Are you saying no when you need to? You can be respectfully honest, and you can be honest without being rude. Respectfully honest. There is a difference, and you can have your boundaries. But if somebody does reach out to you and they are struggling and say you have tried, don't take the suicidal or depression lightly. If you have tried and you do need to have your boundaries, there's nothing wrong with calling 911. Okay, like if somebody who is trying to milk it and use that to control somebody, that does exist. Call 911, because at least that way you've done what you can without inserting yourself. Because I do have another video on this too, where a lot of people will use, well, if you don't do this for me, I'm going to kill myself. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real depression issues. Could that be a real depression issue? Yes, but that's also a manipulation issue. Not a cool thing to be a part of, and not a cool thing to participate in. And you should have boundaries on cases like that. But the reason a lot of people do shut down is because they get told the problem's not real. They get told this is drama. And they really have no one to reach out to. They get told by people, hey, if you ever need anything, just give me a call. But yet they give them a call and they're not present. Hey, I'm too busy for this right now. All you want to do is talk about drama. All you want to do is talk about yourself. Well, then why are you offering for them to reach out to you if you don't want to be there for them? Like, seriously. Now, another thing that can be done so you can have your boundaries is to give them resources like, hey, call 211 and see what you can do to get in touch with somebody that can help you with this issue. Sometimes all they need to do is cry. Sometimes all they need is an ear. Yes, you should have your boundaries, but don't take it lightly. Again, I've been told a few times we don't want the drama. That's not what it is, but that's what shut me down and made it to where I didn't want to tell anybody. I was ready to end it. Okay, that's not cool. I had a few people who were there, and that essentially did help and to participate in saving my life. So anyways, I do plan on posting more videos. I just wanted to get that out there, to talk to the person who is suffering from depression. That's what these videos are for, okay? Again, I'm not after the publicity. I'm not after, being viral. I'm not after any of that. This is talking to the person who is awake at 2 o'clock in the morning and they need someone to talk to, okay? That's what this is for. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is beauty in waking up in the morning, and the only thing suicide can do is guarantee that it can't get better. I wouldn't be here today if I pulled the trigger when I really wanted to. I wouldn't be able to be making the difference in the people's lives around me if I pulled the trigger. I wouldn't be able to be reaching out to the assisted living center that I'm fixing to reach out to after I get my release if I pulled the trigger. And in my faith, I don't know what I believe as far as where suicides go. People who do commit suicide. I was told by a friend that I don't talk to anymore due to differences in beliefs, and this person went on an extreme side that I just could not do or be a part of. But I was told you can get forgiveness from God with suicide. Lord, please forgive me for what I'm about to do. But yet, if you go through with it, do you really mean it? So, you're not alone if you are suffering depression. You're not alone. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. You will get your break from your pain. When? That's another story. I will tell you, the day that I was ready to pull the trigger, I was hurting from the neck down. My entire body felt like I was on fire. Like, literally, throw gasoline on me, light a match. Have you ever been burned? It hurts. That's how bad it hurt. I felt like I was awake in the middle of a surgery. Okay? I was being cut open over and over again. And then all of a sudden, that ended through procedures and through prayer. So if you are struggling, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. If you are having that hard day, there is purpose in this. Find out where your heart is, what means the most to you, and chase it. If you're not working, that's where it's beautiful for you, because you have all the time in the world. You don't have to drive to be able to make a difference for someone else. You've got a phone. You probably know how to use Google. You may have a laptop or a tablet. You can reach out to people around you. Reach out to the nursing homes. See if one of the residents in the homes will talk to you. Pray for them. Be for someone else what you want in your life. That's where I have found my peace. That's where I have found my beauty. Is in the beauty in this life. Is like there was one night where, I don't have a schedule. My schedule is my own. So there's times I'll go to the local grocery store in the middle of the night. And there was a guy that stopped me and just started venting and described a life similar to what I've known of being bullied at work and at school, having a really hard time, and came to God through talking to me. Didn't suffer chronic pain, but he wasn't altogether up here, and I could tell that he did have some kind of mental disability. What was it? I don't know. But just by talking to me, that helped brighten his day and got him to see things in a different perspective. That's what I look for myself is, hey, look at it this way. So if you are suffering depression and you get a different perspective, be that perspective for someone else. Like, seriously, be a light in this dark world. Find some way to reach out and help the other person, the next one in line. Okay? I promise you, it's not over. If you are watching this and it's 2 o'clock in the morning for you, then I really hope this is helping. In fact, Lord, I come to you now to pray for the person who is suffering chronic pain, suffering depression, and just does not see a light at the end of the tunnel. Just put your hand on their mind, put your hand on their body, and please give them deliverance in the same way that you gave me. Show them a way to bring a light to other people and realize that, in comparison, if they truly believe in you, they're going to know that an eternity is a really long time and life on this earth is short. So although it seems like it's taking forever to get that break that they need, it's really just for a moment. And there's still a reason that they're still here. There's still that purpose for them. Please help them to find that. I pray for the doctors, and that you give the doctors the knowledge that the person watching this needs them to see. I pray that you give the person who's watching this the words to say to the doctor to get the treatment that they do need, and that will actually help them. And Lord, just bring peace to their mind, calm their storm, and remember, we're all in heaven's hospital. We have 2 emergency calls. If the pain gets to the point or the mental status gets to the point where they need help now, they can call 911. They can call their doctor. They can get help immediately if they absolutely need that break. But they also have the hospital button call where they can reach out to you. I pray that you have your angels surround them and block out that darkness the same way you did for me in my dream that night. That reminded me that it's not over. There will be an end. And Lord, I pray for your light to cloud their mind, cover their minds so the darkness cannot fit in and cannot get into them. Help them to see their purpose and help them give motivation to be for others what they're looking for in their life that they need in their healing. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Now, whether or not you prayed that prayer for me or with me, it doesn't matter, but I prayed it for you. You don't have to believe it for it to actually help you. But again, remember, try to do for others what you need others to do for you. In time, it will come back, and it will be a blessing for you. So, anyways, without further ado, and making this a longer video, I will hang it up now. But I pray for a good night's rest or a good day's rest, whatever the time may be. But you're not alone in this fight. You aren't. Y'all have a good day.